I can't believe I'm making another video about the Apple Card. But after using it for the past 4 years, much like any other Apple product that I've owned, this credit card has gotten better through countless updates, which make it, in my opinion, one of the best card options on the market right now, with a lot of great new features and a feature you may not be able to afford to miss. And I even have some updates on how Apple has helped me with a recent mishap with fraud protection that might actually be pretty useful to you for anyone signing up for this card. And it's actually a feature that I didn't think I would need that turned out to be super useful. All right, so in 2023, there are a few key reasons why I think you need an Apple Card right now, and I think it's one of the best cards, especially for first-time credit card owners. And those key areas include software, experience, rewards, a new high-yield savings account, and of course, security. Now, like any good Apple product, software is key. And it's one of the most underrated features about the Apple Card, which is the most dead simple credit card that I've ever used. All you need is an iPhone, and after a few clicks in the Wallet app, you can find out if you're approved for the Apple Card, so the sign-up process is so simple. If you are, you'll get a titanium card in the mail within the week, and best of all, you can start using the Apple Card right away. Not only online, but in stores as well, as long as they accept Apple Pay, which, at least in the US, seems to be almost everywhere nowadays. From small merchants to coffee shops and even the trains in New York City, they all have Apple Pay terminals that are quick and easy to use. And unlike other banks, as an iPhone user, there's no need to download any other software. There's no need to keep entering countless security codes every time you want to, log into your bank. All the interface is just right in the Wallet app on your phone, and it's so easy to get to, so easy to see. The interface is smooth and responsive too, unlike a lot of other banking apps. It loads fast. There's just no barriers to getting into this app. And I know that you're probably thinking what's the big deal about that? But if it's not a pain to actually look at your credit card statement and see how much you're spending, that's actually really good for your spending habits because you get to keep track of them better. So with the Apple card, it's very easy too. They have color categories for popular, categories like shopping, food, health, travel, and so on, right? And they're all different color coded. And as you spend with the Apple Card, it even reflects on the card itself, and it changes color depending on your spending habits. So you can kind of see oh, okay, maybe I'm spending a little bit too much on food this month. That's me. I'm always spending too much money on food, and Apple products probably. But yeah, I really like that. And it may not sound like a huge deal, but Apple Card transparency on how you spend money does make it ideal, I think, for a first-time credit card. And that transparency is extended even more to how you pay your credit card. So Apple displays a very easy-to-understand system for payments and accurately shows you how much you need to pay a month to avoid interest charges. No other card really does it this simply, or they definitely don't give you an interface that easy. If you can't make the full payment, Apple will show you exactly how much interest charges you'll rack up, and it encourages you to pay more to avoid those higher interest fees. I remember signing up for my first credit card and how confused I was about interest rates. I didn't understand what APR was. I didn't know how much the credit card company would charge me if I, made a payment that wasn't the full statement balance. Not to mention, the Apple Card doesn't have any other fees. So on other credit cards, if you paid late, you get a late fee. There's no late fees with the Apple Card. And unlike a lot of other cards, which just give you a random payment date that you'll, forever have taking up a slot on your calendar appointment, the Apple Card is predictable because you pay at the end of every month. It's the same payment date. The payment's just due at the end of the month. It's dead simple. Of course, all of these nice credit card features are utterly meaningless if the reward system is garbage. And while Apple Card doesn't have the total highest rewards out of any credit card I've seen on the market, there are ones that offer better rewards. I have an Amazon store card that's 5% back on Amazon purchases. That's pretty hard to beat. But it does, I think, offer a very consistent and one of the highest base levels of cashback on every purchase, provided you are using Apple Pay. Yeah, this is one of my hangups with the Apple Card. I mean, they spent all this time designing a beautiful titanium credit card, and it's so beautiful. I want to use this thing for every purchase. I want to go into a restaurant. I want to be, throw my Apple Card down on the table, go, I got it covered, guys. But because I can't use this for the 2% cashback reward, I kind of don't use it really all that often, unless I'm in a situation where it's an emergency and it's the only card I have on me, which is probably never. So because this has the weakest reward system, only offering 1% cash back on your purchase, with, rare exceptions, you can use this in the Apple Store to still get 3% cash back if you want to flex with it. But I don't know about you. I don't spend every day shopping at the Apple Store. Okay, I spend a lot of time there. But not every day. But anyway, if you want the highest rewards for most daily purchases, you need to make sure you're using Apple Pay on your phone, which means you need to ditch the physical card. Apple Pay provides solid, unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase made with Apple Pay, which itself is a pretty good reward category for a credit card without a membership fee. On top of that, you can get 3% cash back in some categories. Of course, every transaction at the Apple Store, the App Store, Apple Music, or any of other Apple's services qualify for this 3% cash back. But Apple has also added other companies to this too. So you can get 3% back at Walgreens, Panera Bread, Nike, T-Mobile, Uber, Uber Eats, ExxonMobil, and Ace Hardware. For me, I really like using this expanded 3% category because I use Uber and Uber Eats a lot. So this has kind of like provided like an almost 3% discount when using those services. That's how I like to view it. And that's actually like another highlight of the Apple Card. These rewards feel more like discounts than rewards because Apple has a system called Daily Cash, which instead of waiting for the end of the billing period to give you your rewards, Apple gives it to you as soon as the transaction clears, which usually means any card purchases you made in the last few days are deposited into a virtual Apple Card for you to use as you choose. You can either use these rewards instantly or deposit them directly into your bank, or perhaps the best option now is to have those rewards deposited into one of the new features on the Apple Card, having them deposited directly into a high-yield savings account. Yes, Apple has recently just added this feature to the Apple Card, where instead of directly depositing your money to sit there in a virtual card, you can have it directly deposited into a bank account, which earns an insanely high percentage of 4.15% completely free. This Apple High Yield Savings Account isn't just for daily cash too. It works as its own separate bank account that you can deposit your own money into, and it comes with its own account and routing numbers. It's basically just a high yield savings account tied to your Apple Card. But what that means is for you as the user, you have access to a competitively high savings account that compounds your money daily. So what does that mean? Well, let's say you open an Apple savings account with an initial $1,000 deposit and you add $500 every month to the account for the next 12 months. Well, you have a balance of $7,164.96, meaning you earned $164 in rewards completely free. The real power of compound savings, though, is the longer you keep it. So let's extend that savings account to 10 years with the same $500 a month savings, and that means you would have a deposit of like $75,547, thus earning you $14,547 in interest. Now let's say you're crazy and you keep the same habit with a $500 deposit for the next 30 years. Well, you would have a total balance of $355,755, totally doing that math off the top of my head, not reading that anywhere, definitely not, with $174,755 of that coming from interest. Now, I don't want to get into a whole argument about investing and where to put your money and what's going to give you the best, possible savings thing. It's probably not this, right? But considering most people don't save and invest anyway, and most people are scared to invest their money in an area where you could lose it, like the stock market, well, this is a risk-free option. I think it's an amazing feature that will help and encourage more people to save for the future. And it's a free addition to the Apple Card with no other fees attached to it. If you have a bank account and you're just letting money sit there anyway, why not put it into an account that's going to earn like a higher percentage? And with no fees attached to it, I really think this helps set up the Apple Card apart from other credit cards, which obviously only encourage you to spend rather than to save. I plan on using this feature, and I'd encourage you to look into it as well. Finally, let's talk about security. Now, I finally have some first-hand experience on this. Unfortunately, Florida, you're an awful place. In all my years of life roaming the streets of New York, Jersey City, Newark, never have I had my credit card skimmed, but within 48 hours of landing in Disney World, I had all my credit cards stolen. Not physically, but virtually. And that includes my Apple Card that I brought with me. I brought the physical Apple Card. It got skimmed. Someone used some kind of skimming device, it got skimmed, And they started using like this card like the next day to purchase like a bunch of stuff from like Uber. It's messed up. But what was cool is that Apple's fraud protection was amazing. So not only did I get notifications instantly on my phone that someone was like using my card, I was able to contact a representative directly through iMessage while on my vacation instead of going through like a lengthy call process. And I was able to communicate with a Goldman Sachs agent on my own time and inform them my card had been compromised. They cleared the problem up within like an hour, and they, refunded back every fraudulent transaction back to my account within the same day. And within the same day, I also got a new digital Apple Card that I could start using immediately for purchases while on vacation. Consider that for a second. Even though my card had been stolen, I was able to clear that incident up right away, and I was back to using the same card I was using to make transactions in Disney. If I had another credit card, I don't know if the process would go that smoothly because they'd have to mail out a new card, and I would not be able to add that card to Apple Pay until I received the physical card. That sort of peace of mind when it comes to security is really great, and I even started using a new feature on the Apple Card that periodically changes the security code, so hopefully something like that doesn't happen again. It's why I continue to use the Apple Card the most out of all my credit cards, despite having cards that do have high reward tiers. It's why the Apple Card is my most used credit card, because its reward process is simple, the software is easy to understand, their customer service is great, especially with that fraud prevention, and with new benefits like the Apple High Yield Savings Account, I can envision continuing to use this card for a very, very long time. And I think you should too. All right, let me know what you think of the Apple Card in the comments below. Have you applied for one? Are you using one? Are you enjoying it as much as I am? Or do you tend to use another credit card? Also, I want to hear your thoughts on that new high yield savings account feature. Do you plan on using it to kind of save money and then earn like a higher percentage on it? And if you aren't, like what percentage does your bank currently offer? Because I think mine is like less than 1%. So I think I'm just gonna use this one. Also, if you like this video, maybe we're gonna earn a lot of money together because of this. No promises. Okay, definitely not. But if you like this video, give me a like. If you want to see more from the channel, make sure you're subscribed. And thank you so much for watching. And I'll catch you in the next one.